from wherever you are joining. This is me welcoming you to the month of September and hope you are having a great month already. August has come and gone and a lot has happened in the course of the month. We are in a brand new month, brand new opportunities offered unto us. It's good to be back again. Let me also inform those who were not informed that yesterday I was on transit and so couldn't come on live. But today, here we are alive and well. We are grateful to God for life. And again, we are now in the 9th month. It's good to see all of you, including Fortune there. Thank you very much for joining from wherever you are connected. We are back again. One day almost looks like 1 month away. That's how interesting our gathering has been. Thank you so very much. And I'm waiting for us to keep our eyes on the ball and not get confused, not get distracted, stay focused, stay invested, and always look for the bargains because we will surely see them coming from time to time. Thank you very much wherever you are joining from. As usual, you know how we do it. Keep tapping your screens to like and always share from the beginning to the end of the live stream. Indeed, the holiday is going on fantastically and I do not look like I will bring it to an end. But eventually, even every good thing comes to an end. So surely next week I will be off the holidays and fully back in the office. But for now, let's keep enjoying what the market offers us as we continue our wonderful company. Remember, as usual, I will be going through the review of what happened yesterday, and afterwards we will proceed with your comments. But let me inform everyone here that the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, even though sometimes it in fact rewards us with bountiful profits before we even expect it. However, it's good to always stay long-term, remain focused in fundamentally sound stocks as we carry on. When you see any eventuality that is unexpected in your portfolio, it's not the time to panic, because if you do so, you are almost like you have never learned a thing. Stay calm, study the situations, then you take appropriate actions to remedy any kind of situation that needs remedying. For now, we proceed to review of what happened yesterday. The Nigerian oil share index yesterday in the red, shedding about 573.31 points and or a 0.41% loss to settle at 139,722 basis points, down from Friday's closing of 140,295 points. Daily trade volume slowed to 407 million shares compared to 435 million shares in the previous session. Market capitalization also reflected the bearish mood, slipping to 88.4 billion naira from the 88.4 trillion from the 89.2 trillion naira. On the gainers chart, sovereign insurance and SCOA led with advances of 10% and 9.83% respectively. On the loser side, we had LLX, Etana, Veritas all declining by 10%. In terms of trading activity, FCMB and Access Corporation dominated that session, posting the highest shares in terms of. So the current market summary before today's market open, all share index 139,722.2 points, previously 140,295. Year-to-date performance 35.75% positive, volume traded 407 million shares, market capitalization 88.4 trillion. Top gainers: Sovereign Insurance, SCOA, Cornerstone, Guinea Insurance, NSL Tech. Top losers: LLX, Eternal Oil, Veritas Cap, Charms, and Qtix. Now we proceed to your comments right away. But before we proceed again, let me also inform us that all the views expressed in this live stream are entirely personal and they are mine. and therefore not investment advice. However, you are advised to do your own due diligence before you take any investment decision or action. Once again, welcome to September, and I hope you are all having a great time. Thank you very much. We go on to your comments right now, and by 1 p.m. Nigerian time, we will proceed to taking your calls on TikTok. Coach, good to have you back. You and your live stream have become addictive for me. All of them, are they good enough? And when do you think I should average down? Thanks. I think at this point, earlier on before I came on live, I was going through the markets and I saw that both of them are gaining with a reasonable high in terms of their bid and offer status. So they are looking good. It's looking like a good comeback for both of them. Let's see what the situation is now, whether you should still hold on before you take any step. Okay, QTix has dipped to 3 naira 20 kobo, down from 323. So 3 kobo loss at the moment. The offers are more now, 4 million versus 3 million. And then for Charms, I saw that Charms was rising. Okay, from the 2 naira 65 it closed yesterday, it's now 2 naira 91 kobo per share. 12.7 million bids for Charms versus 1 million offers. So Charms is on a serious recovery from yesterday's dip. We watch to see how it goes. Coach, is UBA a good buy today? What should I bid for? Toyo baby. Hold on, I'll check and get back to you regarding the current status. UBA is currently slightly gaining, just 10 kobo from yesterday's 47.25. And if I go through the bid and offer status, I'm seeing that there are so many offers, 12 million offers versus 6.8 million bids. That is to say, there is a tendency for UBA to drop further before the market closes today. In any case, it's currently showing a gain, but I'm sure that is a tactical move to try to sustain it above yesterday's price, because practically speaking, there are just about 6.8 million shares bidded for versus 12 million. So about almost double the number of shares being bidded for is what is on offer. That is to say, supply is more than demand. And in elementary economics, when supply is more than demand, what you get is a reduction in the price, because sellers are under pressure and buyers are at an advantage. For that reason, I would say from the 47 naira 25 kobo that UBA closed yesterday, even if we are seeing bids as high as 47 naira 30 kobo, I would say putting a bid at 47.25, yesterday's price. If you do so, currently there are about 1.3 million shares bidded for from 47.25 upwards. So if you are lucky enough, they will sell down to you, because 5 million shares have already been traded, and so you will be on the queue at about the 1.37 million bids in the market right now. That's for Toyo baby. Ella Lake is going down. Should I average down or pull out? Only depends. Are you in profit? Did you buy to go all the way? All of these will determine whether you should pull out or average down. So your current entry, your average entry price versus what it is right now. And I'm going down to check what Ella Lakes is doing at the moment. Currently, whoa, Ella Lakes is on full offer. 0 bids as we speak, 4.7 million offers. So Ella Lakes is now down from 12.69 it closed yesterday to 11 naira 43 kobo. That means maximum 10% loss already recorded. 18 million shares traded. It becomes difficult to actually sell at this point. But you know, Ella Lakes, it always does this topsy-turvy, up and down, ding-dong movement. And for now, it's on full bid. Nobody knows how long this lasts, especially if we continue to experience a bear market situation. So only at this point, nothing you can do but watch and see how low it goes if you have to average down. Olabami says, good morning, coach. Please, do I need to panic about the stock that was suspended on the NGX? Olabami, you don't need to panic. I am suspecting now you are referring to one of the three suspended, talking about universal insurance. I can assure you universal insurance is going to be amongst the first to get its suspension lifted. That's because their financial reports are ready. They've already followed up with a statement and just yesterday. So hopefully they sort out quickly and get out. It's not the end of the world. A lot of companies have done that and come out of it. It's only those who are still unable to tidy their books that remains suspended, the likes of Unity Bank. But if I could recall some of those who were suspended but regained their trading status, I can tell you very quickly, a stock like Mutual Benefit Assurance suffered that last year. But the moment they tidied up, reconciled with the SEC, and did all they needed to do, they were cleared and started being traded as well. Another bank that was also suspended for failing to submit their reports was Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank. And after they tidied up as well, suspension was lifted. And as you can see, both Mutual Benefit and Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank are all being traded as we speak. So first to tidy up will always get the lifting of the ban. No need to panic. It's just more like a state of hibernation for them. Thank you very much, Alerted King. Always on the desk, sharing this live stream. I know that whatever you do for humanity, you will surely be rewarded. That's one thing I know. Hello, Coach. Livestock seems to be gaining attention. Any new development from them? Are they old? Actually, I have no information regarding livestock. Let's see if what you are saying has translated into anything regarding the stock price. In any case, the stock price is actually down. Maybe you saw a temporary rise because yesterday it closed at 8 naira. Now it's at 7 naira 90 kobo per share. Uka says, good afternoon, Coach. Missed you yesterday. Absolutely. I missed all of you. Myself, I was in transit. You know it's vacation season, so I can be anywhere at any time. But as long as I'm able to settle down at the right time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time, never mind. We will always connect. Yesterday is gone now. We're here today. Thank God for life. Thank you for all you do. I bought UB and First Bank. What other stock can I add for long term? Events by Z. Well, if you are looking for another stock to add to your portfolio for long term, maybe you should look the way of TIP. In any case, I realize that a lot of people are over diversifying their portfolio, and that will make your dividends not make sense. So it's important that you pile in on any stock you have, especially those you have penciled down and started buying for long term. When the market drops, that's an opportunity to increase your stakes in those stocks so that you can eventually make a whole lot more money when dividends are paid. And every time the stock increases in price, that's a lot for you. I'll give you an instance. If you bought 1,000 shares of a particular stock and it gains 2 naira per share, all you have made is 2,000 naira for the 2 naira per share that it has gained. But guess what? If you pile up that stock and you now have 100,000 of that stock, every 2 naira gain translates to 200,000 naira because you have 100,000 shares. The same with dividends. If you have 1,000 shares of a particular bank and they pay 2 naira per share, all you get is 2,000 naira on your 1,000 shares. But if you concentrated on increasing those stocks to about 100,000 shares, every 2 naira they pay becomes 200,000 at once in your account, which you can use to fly back into the market to take opportunities out there. However, some banks are already paying about 5 naira per share as dividend at once. That means 5 times 100,000, 500,000 comes to you. Now the money you are investing in the stock market begins to make a lot of sense. So if you are going for long-term stocks, whether it is long or short term, try to pile in and don't be all over the place so you can see reasonable returns on your investments. I hope you get this clear. This is the simplest way I can explain and interpret the situation with over diversification versus concentrating your stocks, your portfolio in a few. But if you have hundreds of millions in the market, then you can go ahead and have up to 20 stocks depending on your strategy. But I can tell you, focus. Nothing beats focus, because when you focus very well, every little inch of movement in price is a big plus. All right, you may be accumulating a stock up to 200,000 today, and their dividend is not up to 50 kobo per share. Maybe they are paying 10 kobo per share. Never mind, in a couple of years, before you know it, they are paying up to 50 kobo per share. So if you have 500,000 shares and they pay 50 kobo per share for that particular stock, then you are bagging 250,000. Should they grow to the extent they pay 1 naira per share, then you'll be collecting 500,000 naira on your 500,000 shares. That's the way to go. You know, these are things you don't see being taught on most of the videos being posted about investing in stocks. And so you make the mistake of feeling, if I buy 1,000 MTN, I've gotten MTN. You've really not gotten MTN enough to really impact your financial status. I hope you get that now. Coach, is Legend Internet a good buy? Coming from Eel Fingers. Legend has always been a stock that is being used to trade left, right, and center. Every time it touches 5 naira, it's the time that people buy in, and then they wait to see how it goes up, and then sells, and then wait for it to return. At the moment, I've seen it drop to 5, but refuse to go back up. Whatever it is, market sentiments will eventually decide. So if you want to trade, or if you want to invest long term in Legend Internet, then it's about that range of 5 naira. It's still doing about the same price it closed yesterday. There is a chance that it could drop lower, but currently it's on equilibrium basis as far as bid and offer status is concerned. 3.7 million bids versus 3.7 million offers. So that's why perhaps the price is still neutral. Yesterday it closed 5 naira 35 kobo. Today, at the moment, still 5 naira 35 kobo. Coach, what's your verdict on QTix given their results? Official Mobos. QTix published a good result. They can only continue to grow. Remember, I've said it before that they are still at that consolidation stage regarding the what you call one-for-one bonus they gave. Every time a company does this bonus issue, there is a serious lag in how quickly the stock price can recover. So it is gradually recovering, and I'm not surprised. But when it is done, it will be wonderful. I made a tweet before I came on live, and I think I posted that also. Whether or not I posted that on Instagram, I don't know. But there was a very serious bid for, it's still there. Out of the 2.2 million bids for Dangote Sugar, one individual bid is at about 1.7 million bids out of the 2.2 million bids currently for Dangote Sugar. That's a very serious buyer putting in a bid at 55 naira per share. That's over 300 million naira being staked for that stock. I identified that, and the stock price has still not changed. Currently 55 from the 58 it closed yesterday. Looking very interesting there. So if there is a hard-pressed seller in the market, the person can easily quickly sell at 55. So if you are bidding for Dangote Sugar today, 55 naira is a fantastic bid price. Bram says, Coach, I got an email for Dang Sugar commercial paper. Please, what is it all about? Thanks. Okay, Dangote Sugar commercial paper is one way that companies listed in the stock exchange raise cheap capital, right? Commercial papers are debt instruments issued to the public for the purpose of raising capital for short-term funding of the business. All right, so I'm trying to search for what the terms are. So the company offers you to borrow them funds, right? Then they offer you at a particular interest rate that they will give you a reward for the funds borrowed from you, and then within a particular time frame. All right. So we are seeing the latest publicly announced commercial paper offering by Dangote Sugar Refinery for Series 10 to 12, aiming to raise about 100 billion naira, scheduled to close. Okay, that's an old one. That closed June 25. Please confirm the date for the offer you are talking about, because I think that's the latest offer that I have seen regarding Dangote Sugar commercial paper. But basically, for education purpose, commercial papers are debt instruments issued by corporate organizations to fund their businesses, and within a period, say 6 months or 9 months period, they are able to return that money to you with an interest. So when you are happy with the interest rate being offered, then you invest your money. I haven't gotten any update about any new commercial paper except the one offered in June this year. Coach, between Sunu Insurance and WAPIC, which one is a good buy? That's coming from Mr. D. Abba. Now that will take me to check through what their quarterly performance is like, and so just give me a little bit of time so I can call up those information from the web. You're talking about Sunu Insurance, Sunu Assurance, and the other one, WAPIC Insurance. I'm not going to look at their full year results because that's already far gone. We are now in the half year 2025, so it will be better to take a look at their quarterly performances to compare. Okay. So premium trailing 12 months for Sunu Assurance is 17 billion, 17.7 billion. Premium for just a minute. Premium for WAPIC, which is Coronation, 17.1 billion. So both of them are tying there. Sunu slightly higher. Revenue growth for WAPIC is actually slowing down. Quarter 2, though quarter 3 there was a revenue growth of 35%, but there is a slowdown of 15% compared to quarter 2 for WAPIC, whereas Sunu is enjoying a solid revenue growth, 60% quarter 1. Okay, that's full year. Trailing 12 months, June 30th, 36% revenue growth. I'm going on straight to the earnings per share. That's where my major focus will now be. Sunu current earnings per share, trailing 12 months to June 30th, 2025, 23 kobo. And then for Coronation or WAPIC, earnings per share is 12 kobo. So Sunu is looking stronger than Coronation or WAPIC, and that's the reason why you can see the price difference there. So perhaps they are appropriately priced as we speak. Sunu is 5, Coronation is about 3 naira plus. So it's understandable the price difference, who is bigger, right? Okay, Coach, please, what's your take on LRLX long term? I have repeatedly shared my takes on LRLX severally, and I hope that everybody understands. LRLX is a new business. It will experience initial turbulence and struggles, but after a while, that could get better. In any case, whether or not the stock has become overpriced based on current status is what the market is trying to now look into and reorganize. In any case, long-term prospect on paper is fantastic. One thing is what is on paper. The other thing is really implementing it, staying true to the course. Talking about the management now, it depends on how well management manages the company going forward, whether or not what is on paper eventually becomes realistic. All right. Otherwise, the business model and everything they plan to do, especially knowing their focus in the agri sector, is fantastic and should do them well. Okay, Eaglesman says, good afternoon, coaches. IMG, Boa Foods, Boa Cement, good buy for long term. I'm sure Boa Foods and Boa Cement are very good buys for long term. IMG has run very far most recently, and I really can't tell whether or not currently the price is justified, you know. But even the reason why it rose that high was because there was that's Industrial and Medical Gases Nigeria PLC. That's the former BOC Gases. If you've been investing in the 90s and early 2000s, you would know BOC Gases. Now, whether or not it is okay, it leaves much to be confirmed, because I'm seeing a P ratio of 36. Excuse me. P ratio of 36.79 times. That's very high, with earnings per share of 1 naira. Currently 37. I do not know, and I haven't paid attention recently to measure what they are doing in terms of their quarterly or half-year results. Or maybe I should take a glance and see. I'm seeing revenue growth of 29%, which looks good. Okay, there seems to be a reasonable growth pattern as far as revenue growth is concerned. Let's see if that translates also into their income and profits. Well, net income really took a deep cut, 73% negative experience in terms of growth wise. So there is an issue here with the net income for IMG. The growth dropped 73%, and that's very dangerous. That means even earnings per share growth dropped 73%. So you want to hold on and watch what the third quarter result and eventual full year result turns out to be. All right. GK Matic Man says, Coach, can I have that shirt? It's beautiful. Wow. You can trust Tommy Hilfiger for that. They always turn out fantastic designs, and I'm a big fan of them. So never mind, after this live stream, just let me know your address. And of course, delivery is nationwide. I can quickly launder it and send it right away. Thank you very much. Agbeti Favor says, hello coach, please, any new update on UACN? Well, no new update. The market has gone quiet, and these are times when people like us now finally go sniffing around companies like this to now take good stake in them. I remember I used to have 1 million shares of UACN. That time I think I bought some years ago. Was it 5 or 6 years ago? I used to have UACN up to 1 million shares. Forgotten how much I bought. I think around 7 naira or 6 naira or thereabouts. But of course, during their turbulent years, I sold off at very good profit and went my separate ways. But I've started buying back UACN because I saw the turnaround. We were here 3 years ago when a new management was brought in to look into the company. They began a turnaround project that has eventually brought it back from the woods. You know, they started by load shedding most of these subsidiaries and trying to focus on the core business, and they eventually cut a lot of costs along the line. They are able to put in a bid to buy over Chi Limited from Coca-Cola Nigeria. So that was the news that saw it rise from around 50, 60 to over 100 naira per share. It's dead. And now we're seeing UACN at 65. the market is now showing us wonderful bargains. In any case, I'm wondering now, why is USCN suddenly on full offer? 2.1 million be able to tell. Otherwise, at this price I'm seeing USCN, we should actually be getting ready to average down. If there's anyone I'm mentoring, wherever you are, in my one-on-one coaching program, and you are hearing me right now, this USCN is looking fantastic, because I'm sure you must have bought at 70. It's now 65. It's time to average down. Something we initially anticipated may happen, and a fantastic opportunity. But I really need to be sure that there is no negative news about that takeover, because that was what drove the price up. So, and I'm happy to really state here that I was here advising us not to chase that stock, even though it was looking all right. So that's the current situation. I am actually particularly surprised. Whether it is orchestrated by market makers, I can't tell. But if that deal is fully in place and has not been tampered with, then it's a good buy at this point, because USCN on its own actually rose to 65 or 60, something like that, before ever the news about taking over Chi Limited broke out. Okay, Coach, please, is it good to buy Dangote Sugar for long term? Absolutely. You have my blessings for that, especially at the 55 it is today. That's a very good price. Somebody has seen value there and has staked over 300 million naira to buy 1.7 million shares. So 55 is a good price and a good long-term stock for that matter. Please, can one start buying stock with 10,000 naira? Adeboye Fashino, can I tell you, I started 27 years ago with 4,000 naira. You can start with 10,000 naira. Who is listening to me that has only 5,000? Feel free to start. That's the beauty of the market. And this is the difference full-time into real estate or stocks. If you do not have the capital to go into real estate, there's nothing you can do about it. But when it comes to stocks, whatever you have these days, you can actually start investing, build capital. And then if you are actually a real estate enthusiast, then the stock market can help you build the capital for you to launch in big time into real estate. But by all means, no matter where you are financially, you can get started. All right? Somebody still liking, somebody still sharing the live stream. You are helping someone to get hold of the beautiful information, enriching, life-changing information that we are sharing here. Don't stop, keep sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, please be reminded that calls will be entertained from 1 p.m. Nigerian time, so get ready, but all calls are to be done on TikTok. Coach, I have been trying to join your community. I have sent you a message. Now, for everyone who is listening to me and wants to join Net Worth Investors Club, interestingly, the club continues to grow. 3,300 members right now as we speak. Nigerians in Nigeria, Nigerians abroad, and some foreigners are the collective membership spread of the club. Just follow me on Instagram, send me a DM saying, please, I want to join Net Worth Investors Club. I will forward the link to you. For your information, the link expires after a while. That's deliberate because it is meant to protect and safeguard all members in that group from cyber crime perpetrators. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that also reminds me, when you join Net Worth Investors Club, don't let anybody lure you into giving them money for anything, because it's not Net Worth Investment Club. We are not asking you to bring money to invest anywhere. We are a do-it-yourself club. So you ask your questions openly and listen and read up analysis, market developments, and all of that as we keep sharing in the group. No one should lure you out of it. Whatever questions you want to ask in public, you will get public response, so you can actually do it yourself. We are all about sharing knowledge, and whatever you learn is with you for life, for your own good. And you know, that's the best gift we can give back to mankind. So if I had stored up all of this knowledge, what would have been happening to those 3,300 people right now? But you know what? The world is a better place when we share. And that's why we are sharing for free. Please feel free to join, but do not follow anyone who may come into your DM to deceive you into thinking I am the one. That's why I also don't follow you back, for your protection. So anybody you see following you with my picture or DP, that person is a criminal. Run away from them. So I did something during the weekend to forestall some of these things. I went and searched and saw about 5 separate accounts in my name with my DP, right? So what did I do? Because from feedbacks I get from this live stream is that they come and be a part of the live stream and start talking people out of it, making them feel that I'm the one, you know. So what I've done is to report all those 5 accounts and effectively block them completely, so they can't join this live stream anymore. And if they open another account, I will keep repeatedly blocking them, because the admins on these platforms are not doing anything about it. The feedback you keep hearing is they have not violated any of the community rules and all that, but they are violating our members often and often, and we can't stand by and keep watching. So I will effectively continue to do a search and keep blocking any new one that comes up. It's my DP. That way, we can continue to keep you safe from anybody pestering you. Just learn as much as you can, ask as many questions as you can, and you keep growing in knowledge and in your net worth. That's why we are called Net Worth Investors Club. We are building to grow our net worth. Your net worth is simply your total assets minus your liabilities. If you are here, you should be out of debt by now. If you have been here for at least 1 month or 6 months maximum, you should have completely been out of debt. You are not supposed to be in debt unless you are using that debt to service your net worth. All right? So there are good debts and there are bad debts. Not all debts are bad. But listen, the more assets you create, the greater your net worth. The less debts you maintain, the greater your net worth. So do the math and make sure that your net worth is increasing repeatedly. And that means you're not going to be a frivolous impulse spender. You can't be with me, follow me for a while, and still be an impulse spender. But you know what? When the time to spend comes, you will spend like a millionaire. That's what we do. I know how much I have spent moving my family to and fro various flights in this season. That's because we spend when we spend well, all right? And not useless spendings that ends up destroying your net worth. Okay? All right. We keep going. Hello, coach. Welcome back. Can you talk about 3 insurance stocks suspended by NGX? White Eagle. I've spoken about that. Let me also inform us. We have our moderators. That skipped my memory when I started. I was too excited to get started, having missed yesterday and being a brand new month. Maobi is always here. Gratitude Boss is here. Oremos is here. VOO is here. These are executives of the Net Worth Investors Club that have the authority to moderate and to also respond to questions I have already answered previously. So we don't keep going back and forth. So White Eagle, you will see a response on the comment section eventually. Benita is also here, one of our moderators and admins in the club. So any one of them can respond to a question like this that I've already treated. So we don't keep repeating ourselves and rather keep making progress. Coach, what's your take on Fidelity? I saw some fears and complaints about Fidelity in the group this morning. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to quickly respond to that before coming up. So this is another opportunity for me to respond, irrespective of what the stock price is doing. Actually, in a dull market like we have right now, the stock price is still up there, and there is strong interest. 47 million shares bidded for versus 19 on offer. Talking about Fidelity, from 21, it's at 21.10 right now. And I know most of those 47 million bidders are now waiting to position for the
interim dividend that I have repeatedly told you about since Fidelity was doing 20 and 19. So this is us already in the bus ahead of time, right? So there's no worries about Fidelity. I remember as at that time when it was dilly-dallying around 20 for so long, there was always heavier supply than demand. But I think the pendulum has changed, and now the demand is much higher than the supply. So expect this to continue into when they eventually announce the third quarter result, and of course the interim dividend. So my take on Fidelity is take position and wait for interim dividend. And of course, at 21 or even 20, it's a fantastic long-term stock to buy. All right? Coach, I have 200,000 naira to start with. Please advise me. I'm a newbie. Maxino, first thing is to acquire knowledge. Good thing you are coming when the market is slowing down. I would prefer that you take time to watch those beginner guide video. If you haven't, send me a DM. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. The reason why I always refer you to Instagram is that's where I can assure you. Even those I didn't respond to during the weekend, I couldn't respond to, especially those late DMs that came in between yesterday and the day before. Remember, I was on transit yesterday. I couldn't have been responding to those, but I can assure you I'll clear them up in a couple of days between today and tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing GT Bank dropping to 91, still looking very good, still confirming that the market is now dipping and you need to be slow in your buying. This is actually not a seller's market anymore. It's looking like the market is trimming down its gains, and it's good to just stand down and watch. Keep building up on cash. Whatever dividend you received recently, hold on and watch to see as the bargains keep coming. It's good to slow down. Hold your cash. Hold your cash from what I'm seeing. GT looking interesting. 91 naira 55 kobo at the moment. Coach, please, I noticed some of these stock prices are going down, like Access, Zenith, GT, and UACN. Actually, that's the way the market goes. Yemik, I have to explain this to all of you, and let's have this correct mindset about the market. The market will never continue to go up and stay up. It's always a zigzag movement, but in the end, over a long period, it looks like a straight line. So if you are seeing daily fluctuation of the market, general market sentiment being bearish, it's all part of the market culture. The fact is, without a bearish market, there's no money to be made because all of us would have been late to the market. So when there is a pullback, there is a bearish and market sell-offs, that's where wealth is transferred. And if we are not aware of this, let's understand this. A new wealth transfer moment is by the corner. The Nigerian market has been flying unusually. Let's get this fact straight. It didn't used to be so. Between May, after dividend was paid, till August, market still flying. It was completely not unheard of. That's why you hear sayings like sell in May and go away. It was generally so all across the world. In fact, sell in May and go away was not even originating, did not originate from the Nigerian market space. It originated from Europe. You know why? Because traders those days used to eventually go for summer holidays, and usually after corporate action and dividends are paid between March and April, May is usually a dull moment when there is really nothing more to expect from the market. So what most traders usually did and stockbrokers is that they go on summer holidays, and the whole of from May, August, September, they are off. And so they come back around mid-September or end of September to start buying back stocks. And so between that period, the stock market is always down. So we just saw something different this year. And it's the same also in the international markets. So let's get used to the ups and downs of the market. If I have stayed 27 years in this market and I'm saying this to you, you've got to believe that. If you came with the mentality that the market will always keep going up, then you're going to end up being disappointed, frustrated, and eventually sell your stocks at a loss. But thank God we have someone who can talk to us about this and help with guidance as I am trying to do right now. I hope that's clear. If you are not following me, you are losing money. I don't need to overstress that. Those who follow me, at least they understand what I'm saying, right? So do well to follow me on all platforms, including the YouTube channel. I've said it repeatedly here. You are soon going to be missing a lot on that YouTube channel. You don't have to start making YouTube videos to have a YouTube account. All you need to do is go and register on YouTube. You don't need to post no video. You just need a username with your email registration and everything done. You can be able to follow me on YouTube, subscribe for free, because I am about to unveil some very interesting series there that cannot compare with the daily live stream. Live stream is completely different. That series is coming soon. Watch out for that. Okay? Coach, please, between ICO and Guinea Insurance, which one to retain and want to sell to balance from overspread? Benjamin Bolaji. Excuse me. Right? Unfortunately, I do not have my water for water break today. I'm just going to struggle through this. You said Guinea Insurance, right? So let's look through what we get from Guinea Insurance compared with ICO Insurance. Well, there are several miles apart. You can tell from the stock price already. ICO is currently at 3.80 kobo, Guinea Insurance at 1.53 kobo. But let's see what the quarterly reports look like. Okay, comparison of the quarterly results of ICO and Guinea Insurance. Guinea has 2.1 billion June 30th, 2023, trailing 12 months. ICO has 91 billion. The difference is just too clear. I will not waste too much of our time. We go on to check earnings per share. ICO has 36 kobo, trailing 12 months up to June 30th, 2025, while Guinea has negative 3 kobo. So it's clear Guinea is not profitable. ICO is in good profits compared to Guinea. So you want to sell is Guinea and you hold on with your ICO. Abdullah says, Coach, please, can you look into this US stock called Novo Nordisk? Novo Nordisk, usually a powerhouse in the US market for many years, but is experiencing a serious turbulence at the moment. I remember it looks like a fantastic bargain now compared to what it used to be. Right? So, I will take a good look. Ticker symbol is actually NVO for Novo Nordisk. And let me just do a quick review. I already know about the stock. I already know how it has fallen from grace. It's faced all sorts of challenges lately, but it may just be looking like it has bottomed out for a very good time to take position. I will advise the US market has actually rallied to an all-time high and now looks very dangerous for any form of overpricing some of these stocks. So the strategy to go into the US market now is to look for those beating down big names that looks like there is a recovery in the pipeline. For Novo, last Friday closed at $56.46. But if you take a look, 1 year ago, just like I have stated earlier, it lost between by this time last year and now, which is in the last 1 year, it's lost 59% in share price, reflecting what I have just said before getting onto the charts. And even between January and now, talking about the year to date stock price performance, it's actually dropped 35%. So if you bought Novo in January, you are down 35%. If you bought it a year ago, you are down 59%. Then if you bought it 6 months ago, you are down 36%. But guess what? And that's where it looks like the turnaround has started. 1 month ago, if you bought Novo, you are up 16%. If you bought 5 days ago, you are up 2%. And if you bought a day ago, you are up 0.62%. So it's looking like Novo has finally bottomed out and a reversal is in the cards. So what then does the fundamentals say? First of all, Novo has risen over 2% after data shows its obesity drug, Wegovy, offers 57% better cardiovascular benefits than Eli Lilly's tirzepatide with fewer adverse effects. So, based on market data available regarding the performance of one of its drugs over an existing rival's own in the market is now responding. That's perhaps the most recent reason why Novo is recovering. Now, on to the real fundamentals. Like I said, it's a powerhouse. Basic earnings per share, trailing 12 months, $3.64. Quarterly earnings per share recorded in the last quarter, 94 cents. So, quite a healthy business, only drawn back by market sentiments, which eventually will turn around. So, Novo Nordisk looks interesting for the long term in the foreign market. 4 minutes before we go on to start taking your calls. I know I'm so sorry for my Instagram followers. It's looking like the screen is no longer scrolling, and so it's making it difficult for us to really follow your comments unless I have to remember to scroll. So most of your comments may just be stagnant and unanswered for that reason, but I'm trying my best. Shore Lift Shoes says Dangote Sugar is closing tomorrow. I don't understand. What do you mean Dangote Sugar is closing tomorrow? Is there an offer that is closing tomorrow, or the company itself is closing tomorrow? No company is closing soon yet as we speak, unless you are referring to something else. So please, could you shed more light on that comment talking about Shore Lift Shoes? Maybe you have a very good information for us to feast on. Why not? Bring it on. So please, any update on Royal X? Are they good insurance company to keep accumulating? Well, Royal X, I will have to. I think it's high time I did this comparison I've always spoken about, but never been able to do anything about. In any case, I'm actually working hard here. You can agree with me that I am supposed to be on vacation, sleeping, resting, playing around, feeding my eyes, recharging my batteries. But no, this thing is so irresistible, I can't just leave you in the dark. So I'm still making sure I try to be here. That's why my information gathering is a bit scanty these few days. But when I bounce back, I will have everything up to speed for you. So I do not really have sufficient update for Royal X. I know I've done an analysis about Royal X some time ago, and was looking great, but I haven't done any more at the moment. Royal X is down to 2 naira 1 kobo from 2 naira 8 kobo. It closed yesterday. Bid and offer 2.2 million bids versus 5.9 million offer. So that explains why it's dropping today. The bids are less than the offers. Please give advice for very good investment for 6 months projection to 2 years, sir. Evangelist. Whatever your projection is, most of the stocks we are now looking at very good bargain prices are good to go. UACN at 65 looks great. Zenith Bank at 68 looks very great. Okay, Zenith Bank at 65, sorry, looks very great. What other stock there? Fidelity at 2021 looks very great. Go ahead and make your choice. Dangote Sugar at 55 looks great, especially for the long term. Please do not come into the stock market with a short-term fund or capital. Right now, it's no longer the best time to come into the market with short-term funds. Hi, coach. Please, can you talk about Grab? It's an e-hailing company. Yeah, Grab looks great, if you ask me. And it could be just a brand new competitor to Uber in the market. But a whole lot still depends on what the management and the entire team around Grab does with the marketing and the publicity. Yeah. They are actually um, partners with food and restaurant companies, including groceries, and they send packages, they hail ride. So they come in with something completely different. Though Uber also does food delivery and grocery delivery as well. So the competition is really heating up. But if we take a good look at their performance, their 1 year performance is a 54%. I'm talking about share price performance, 54% increase. The numbers are also looking reasonable for a $4.99 pence stocks, $4.99 stocks. They have a trailing 12 months earnings per share of 3 cents. Not bad for a small company just trying to get going. You know, it's a difficult world out there. Their net income is actually negative from what I'm seeing. Previous full year negative net income after a revenue of $2.8 billion. Net income was 105 million loss. But I know that from these early stages, that's expected. And the fact that they are generating as high as almost 3 billion, it means it won't be long before they cover their losses. In any case, they are already in profit going by the last quarterly report that has been released or estimates, because revenue estimate is now at $864 million, talking about the next quarter, and earnings per share estimate of 1 cent. So there is a likelihood that you may never see any form of net loss for Grab. So young company trying to come up, looking good and punching above to compete. Current analyst sentiment is a strong buy, but the truth is, technically speaking, it could be at a sell zone now, but may look interesting to see if one can start buying after a reasonable dip. And where would I expect a dip to look more interesting to buy? Currently it's 499, but if I find a dip as low as 450, that could be a reasonable dip for me, if you ask me. So if it drops at 4 to 450 and below, that will be a good dip to buy from. Currently at pre-market, it's at 493, talking about grab. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 1 p.m., already gone past 1 p.m. by 3 minutes. And so at this point, I will pause taking your comments. We will now switch on to taking calls on TikTok. You know how we do it. Let's keep going and let's keep driving this session as we go onto the phone lines. Already, we have 5 guests waiting to make a call. And of course, I'm more than excited to take your calls. We proceed to caller number 1.
And now you are standing in this order: JK, first caller; Grams, second caller; Smile for me, third caller. This is how we proceed. The fourth caller shall be Fedi. Let's proceed to the first caller right away. Okay, system seems to be adjusting there. Having sat down for 1 hour, I guess it's trying to advise me on what to do and what not to do. While we are waiting for that adjustment to be completed for us to go on to the course, I would say let's take more comments from Instagram, right? Coach, is VFD a good buy now? Anything around 10, 11 is a good buy for VFD for the long term. Remember, VFD is trying to recover from the 5-for-1 bonus it gave. That's a lot. It's like a woman pregnant who eventually gave 5 children at once. You know how she will need time to recover. Okay, I'm facing some difficulty in trying to put off something here. If you are listening to this live stream, just stay on, even if it goes off, because I'm trying to do for me to get hold and control of the screen right now. There are challenges on TikTok. If you miss out on TikTok, don't miss out on Instagram. The screen is refusing to respond because of this message stating there has been inactivity during the live stream. And that's because we have stayed for 1 full hour and I've been, there is a mix-up and something is just refusing to come back up for me to deal with. In any case, I will go on Instagram until that is sorted out. It's coming from the TikTok platform, not from our end. So we proceed with your comments on Instagram. Good afternoon, Coach. Is Jaiz Bank a good buy now? Should I wait for it to drop more? It will be interesting to see in this current market situation how low Jaiz Bank drops. All right, the screen has responded finally, and so I have stated how I have been active, and now we are back to those calls. By the way, let's connect to JK.
Trying to connect. Now let me see what the situation with Jaiz is. Okay, Jaiz.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Right. Hello, good
Yeah, good
afternoon.
afternoon, Coach.
Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Joke. Calling from Lagos.
Hello, Joke. Good afternoon. All the way from Lagos, we are excited. You are our first caller for the month of September. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, Coach. Yes, Coach. I missed the class yesterday. We
Oh,
missed you.
yes,
We
I
missed you
missed all.
yesterday.
Oh, sure. If only I could have been doing this right in the air. Go ahead.
All right, coach. So currently I don't know if I should increase the quantity of my stock or if I should buy new stock.
How many do you have in your portfolio at the moment?
I have Wando, Aiko, GT, Charms, Curtis, VFD. Yes, and Boa Cement.
So
Those are the stocks I have in my portfolio currently.
I would not like to expose you to letting us know what the value of your portfolio is because it's a public space. But I would rather you, if you see a compelling opportunity based on price deep, then you can add another. Otherwise, you consolidate on the ones you have, especially those who are deeping in your portfolio as well. So you take advantage of averaging down. Is that clear, Joker?
Okay, so I should add more quantity to my shares, the one that I own, instead of buying new one.
Yes, top up on what you own. So every next price movement becomes much more substantial, especially for those that have dipped from your average entry price.
Okay, coach. Okay, coach. Thank you, coach.
Right. Thank you very much for making it simple. Next caller, Grams. After Grams, we will proceed to hear from Smile for Me. Good afternoon, Super Coach. Talk about WAPIC, Emmanuel Shellep. I've already spoken about WAPIC. Any of the moderators can respond to that. Why is there a massive dump on NPF Microfinance Bank? Now I'm going to check if it is that massive. Otherwise, it could just be the general market trend that is rubbing off on NPF Microfinance Bank. Let's see what's happening with that. From 3 naira 10 kobo yesterday, it's down to 2 naira 92. It could be panic selling by shareholders in that bank. In any case, that could be short lived. Some other person might see it as an opportunity to buy. Well, the ball is in your court to decide. If there are no fundamental reasons why it should drop below 3, then we are looking at an opportunity for somebody who is looking forward to building on massively in that particular bank. We lost connection with the last caller, Grams, so we go on to Smile for Me. After Smile for Me, the next shall be Fedi, as earlier stated. Wow, this connection was swift.
Hello,
Stephen, go
hello,
ahead.
coach. Yes,
Tell
good day,
us
sir, coach. Yes, my name is Smith. I'm calling from Melbourne, Australia.
Thank you very much, Smith from
Yeah,
Australia.
yes. Thank you. So, coach, just a quick one. Atlas sends us details about FGN savings bond and also the Dangote Sugar Refinery commercial paper recently. So, I have two questions. The first one is that I've noticed that most of these offers are often very short. You know, maybe they will notify us on Monday, and by Thursday it's over. Then the second question is that how best can one maximize the funds that he or she has? You know, is it by investing in these assets, or do you think the stock index equity would do better? Like maybe the stock equity market, rather. I mean, like good fundamentals, solid stocks in the exchange are better off than maybe the Dangote refineries commercial paper or the FGN savings bond as well. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, actually, there are different strokes for different folks. The cash needs of investors are diverse, just as our faces are different. Some people have short term funds and they can't gamble with the market fluctuations and unpredictability of the market. So, what do? They proceed with investments like commercial papers and short term treasury bills. So, the reason why commercial papers are very short is because the companies really need to get hold of those funds and execute whatever business transaction you need to do because they are also short-term instruments. That's the reason why commercial papers can't last more than 365 days. Always around 90 days or 180 days tenor. It's done. So they are meant for meeting short-term obligations. And that's why even the process is short.
Mm.
So all of those razzmatazz and activities around normal public offers and rights issue, you can't find. And because the money is confirmed, genuine, and guaranteed, it gets taken up all the time, usually oversubscribed.
Mm.
Because there are funds like that always waiting to pounce on such opportunities. So if you are a fund manager, you will understand what I'm saying.
Mm.
Every
Mm.
cash goes into the market. So everybody to your tent with your strategy, depending on your need in the market.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
that partially answer the second question itself?
Yes, yes, yes. It's quite.
I thought so. Thank you very much. So, for those who may be wondering how best to take advantage of commercial, oh no, I guess I wasn't hearing you anymore and thought you are done. In any case, I could also explain it this way: a young man is in his 35, is in his 30s, wants to get married, looking at April next year, but he has most of the funds he needs to fund that wedding. Now, he's thinking between gambling in the stock market or looking for something very sure to grow the money even more before that date. What happens? The surest way to go is either treasury bills or commercial papers. As long as the tenor is within the safe period where you will get hold of the fund before you need them or just before you need them, then such are the kind of investments you should go for. Some people, the project they are looking to fund in is a building project or a vacation trip, and they don't want to mess with the money. So they put it where it will still money to yield much more than just leaving it in the bank. These are the reasons. And then for fund managers who have billions of naira or billions of dollars assets under management, they can easily, quite easily, take a good chunk of the assets under management to put into very sure, safe, and secure investments like commercial papers and treasury bills. So that way, they have some money in stocks growing rapidly, but with the risk of also losing rapidly, and then they have some in these safer investments. I hope that explains it. Now we go on to Fedi.
Hello, coach.
Hello, Fedi. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Hi, good afternoon, coach. My name is Ferdinand. I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
Thank you very much, Ferdinand from UK. We are glad to have you. Go ahead.
Coach, thank you very much for all that you have been doing for us. I pray that God should reward you because we don't have anything to give to
Amen.
you. Just God Almighty should reward you
Wow.
in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, coach, I have three quick questions. One is about right issue. Second one is a minor account. And the third one is the best time to buy stock, considering the time that we are in. So first of all, right issue. There was a time you said something about right issue. Somebody asked a question and you are trying to explain. So I just want to ask, does it mean that anytime a company offer the right issue, there must be a markdown in the price? That's the one. Secondly, minor account. I was trying to open a minor account for my children. But when I contacted Zenith Bank, that's the bank I'm using, so they told me that I need to open an account for them first before I open a brokerage account. I know that. But when I contacted the bank to see if I can open an account for them, they were telling me that I need to submit their birth certificate gotten from the National Population Commission. I didn't give birth to them in Nigeria. They have not been to Nigeria before. So is it that if I don't open account, is there any way Atlas can come in to help in this matter? Because I've been trying to deal with them. They say if I don't submit certificate or gotten from national population, I won't open bank account. And I know that I need a bank account before I can subscribe for this share for them. So the third question,
All
the
right.
first time, people always say that the time that we are going in, September, November, October, is the markets always go down. This is the first time I'm entering into Nigeria stock market. I've been doing foreign market long time ago. So I don't know, based on your experience, 27 years experience you have in this stock market, when is the right time to buy? Because I've been accumulating money to buy when the stock go down. So when is the right time to buy at this moment? Thank you. That are the three questions I have.
There is no marking down during rights issue. There's nothing to mark down. The company offering rights just comes to the market and gives offers at a discount. That's all. Discount usually from the market price, except for UBA that has decided to peg at 50 while the stock is selling at 48, 49, or even 46. So that answers question one. Question number two, you asked about your children's minor account and the feedback from Zenith Bank. No account is possible to open, talking about trading account for minor or for even adult without a bank account. So you must have a bank account to be able to open a minor account. And minor bank accounts are very possible. In any case, the requirements are also standard. KYC documentation must be provided, birth certificate as well. But I think whoever is responding to you is just following it to the letter and insisting the birth certificate must come from the National Population Commission. If the child was not born in Nigeria and the child is a Nigerian, the child is entitled to a Nigerian bank account as long as they provide their own birth certificate from their country of birth. And
Exactly.
nobody does it better than the United Kingdom, who are our colonial masters. Therefore, a birth certificate generated from the UK should be enough to validate the birth of a child. And so I would say if the person continues to insist it must come from the National Population Commission, then you look elsewhere to open a bank account for your child. Very simple. Some banks are very good at diaspora account opening, some are still very far behind. I am aware of how pragmatic First Bank is going about their diaspora accounts. Maybe you want to consider that. In fact, I saw an advert where they were even saying they would be in the streets and be out there during the what do they call that festival again? Nottingham Festival?
I can't remember the coach. I'm not aware of that.
If you are in the UK, then you should know of Nottingham Festival. It's a street carnival, and First Bank is offering to be on the streets to attend to BVN needs of Nigerians and all of that. So you can even Google FBN or First Bank of Nigeria diaspora account opening. Most of those things are also doable online. Then eventually you link up with them and they deal with it. Otherwise, I know a First Bank staff who I can connect you with.
Yeah, please do.
That. Okay? We need to be smart, even on the job that we do it. I've been a banker before. KYC is KYC. It's just like saying if you must open your bank account as a Nigerian, you must have a Nigerian address. You must not have a Nigerian address. The same way your account, your KYC documentation for address verification can actually be your foreign address, as long as you provide the papers to confirm that you are the legitimate resident of that address. That's all. So people shouldn't just stick with what is written blue and black. Theoretical knowledge takes us nowhere. Is that okay, sir? Third response
Yes,
to your
please.
last
Yes.
question. Are you
The
with me,
best time.
sir?
Yes,
The
I'm with you,
best
coach.
time to buy a stock, as far as the Nigerian stock market is concerned, November, December. From October down, after third quarter result is announced and the market is done with the gyration that comes with that earnings. Announced, and then after the excitement is over, we've done enough justice to his 3 solid questions. Something is telling me someone is listening to me whose wedding has been planned for April next year, and you are the one I was talking about. I don't know why, but I just feel so. These are some of the comments that makes you people call me prophet, but I'm not a prophet. I'm just here as a regular Nigerian trying to contribute my little to help fellow investors in the markets. Okay. Next callers that I shall be okay. Able God. First caller. Stephen. Second caller. Sarah. We go into Able God. The call to Able God is not connecting. Okay, we just try to stay patient and see if it connects.
Still with able God. That's talking about Abiodun. Yeah, network is bad. Oh my God. OJ says, Pastor Coach, are you saying we should not buy or top up for now? Actually, for those that have already shown very good entry prices, like I've mentioned, Zenith is looking like it's a good opportunity. So we
Hello,
can go
Coach.
ahead. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach. This is one of your students again. Last time I spoke to you, I don't know if you can hear me. The network is bad today.
And here you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Abiodun. Streaming from London. I spoke to you last week. This is one of your students. I've been following over a year now, and I spoke to you about how to get involved in the share team. I actually went back to play that video, which we did on, I think it was on the 26th. Yeah, on the 26th, and you asked me to drop a comment that you come back to. I did, but I haven't heard anything since then. So that's why I choose to come up live again. So I'm still hoping to be able to help.
What comment was that? Is it
Regarding
on my
the
DM?
trying to know on the video on the YouTube.
Okay, you're the one that is not on Instagram.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Okay, go on to
Go on to the last video. Make that comment again, please. I have been on
All right,
transit. You know, I'm on holidays. I'm just struggling to meet up with your device.
yeah, I know, I know,
Okay.
I know. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll
So
do that.
just
Thank you,
make
sir.
that comment again, please. Thank you.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Stephen is next. After Stephen, Zara Mom, stand by. Deborah Oluwaseun Roslyn says, can I buy WAPIC for long term? Actually, when the market bottoms out, you can. WAPIC is solid. Hello, good afternoon. Name and where you're streaming from, sir? Hello, are you there? Okay, without taking too much of our time, we proceed to Zara Mom. Immo says, good afternoon, coach. Is this a good time to average down on stocks or wait? Just a little bit of wait, but sometimes you start entering slowly. Pick a little bit, wait a bit, pick a little bit. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach. My name is Roslyn.
Yes, please.
Okay, please, I have a quick question. First of all, I wish to say a big thank you for the last time. Last time I called in complaining that I bought Guinea insurance at 1.7. Even though you said I entered late, but you encouraged me to stay on, and I was lucky enough to sell at little profit. Grateful. Okay, so now,
Nice move there.
thank you very much. Recently, like sometime last week, I bought Royal X at 2.36. So ever since then, it kept dropping. I tried to average down, and I bought 2 naira just 2 days ago. Dropping. Do you advise I still try to average down, or I should just hold on for now?
What's your total quantity now?
Uh, I, I don't really know, but I've invested about
Just a
four
rough
and
idea.
uh I don't know. I just bought at 2 naira and
Okay.
2.36 respectively.
Okay, Roslyn, what I will advise you to do is hold on and wait, and you should stop going into penny stocks that aggressively, especially for those that are trending.
Okay. Okay, sir. How
What you
about
should do
livestock?
also, what you should do
Also,
also, send me a DM of your portfolio and let me advise. Is that okay?
yes, sir. How about
But
livestock?
do livestock, another sideways stocks after that initial rise. You know, when we ride these stocks and they go up, we don't bother about them again because we give them time to breathe. We started buying livestock at 372, it rose to 910, and then we just left it there. So any more purchases around that time will now need a lot more time before any further progress. And that's why I always speak about those that really haven't moved, because those are the ones that gives you the potentials for upward movement than those that have already moved earlier. Livestock currently down 740 from 8, but the market feels it's cheap, and so there are more offers currently. What's your entry price for livestock?
evening.
I can hardly hear you.
810, 810, and 8. I bought some at
8
810
and
to average.
810. Okay, you will have to stay patient. I'm sure it's a long-term stock. Let's see how it bottoms out for averaging down.
Okay, sir. All right. Thank you very much,
All
sir.
right. All right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we may just be caught up along inability to keep this particular Instagram device powered. These are the challenges with doing this on vacation. Hopefully, we recover from here. And of course, it won't happen again. Vacation eventualities happen. The battery power of the device for TikTok may just run out, and there has been every effort to revive it, but impossible to do so. So we go on. Next caller, female car architect. After that, we will have Emmanuel Igwe.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Quickly, your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Ayomide, streaming from Lagos.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Hi, Omide. Thank you very much for calling in from Lagos. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I just opened my portfolio of recent because I've not been on my phone for a while. So I noticed that my
Okay.
NASCO has gone down from, I think it was on 90 something before, then it went down to 88, maybe 89. That was of yesterday. And some other stocks went down, sha. So I was thinking whether I should buy more of that NASCO or I should just hold on for it to go down.
What's your entry price for NASCON?
Uh I'm thinking of 85.10 or 85.90.
Okay, just hold on
85.
and watch and see. Keep cash. At the moment, keep cash. Let's watch and see. If the trend continues tomorrow, then it's most likely going to continue all week long. That means better opportunity to buy lower.
Okay. Sorry again. This Transcorp, I sold the this thing. I sold my shares, and I observed that it was not reflecting. I sold it August 19. Till this very day, I've not seen my share or even my money. Same with last year too. They did not give me the money.
What
They did not give me back my share.
what platform are you dealing with?
Afri Invest.
Oh, okay. AfriInvest was doing an app upgrade,
Updates. Yes.
and so I think you should go to their office straight. This is not what you should even do by email anymore. Thank God you are in Lagos. Locate the nearest Lagos office and let them sort you out. They know what to do to restore everything that is missing.
Okay, sir. Thank you very
I'd
much.
like to hear from you again when you achieve that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Igwe. You are next. Please unmute yourself and let's hear you. Emmanuel Igwe, can you unmute your mic? Otherwise, we proceed with Tech is Live. Okunwonye says, Coach, please, what's your take on Realty O, Verizon, and AGNC? Which one is best for dividend payment and future growth? Realty O and AGNC are the perfect dividend choices, but there is not much future capital gains involved. Verizon has struggled a lot. There could be a revival in the future. I have no current update regarding their financial status. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, I'm Ayomide and I'm streaming from Ogun State.
Ayomide from Ogun. Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really want to appreciate your efforts, right? On for you doing this is really a privilege. Thank you so much. And I sent you a message on Instagram, sir. Because I'm actually new to this stock investment. And one of the things that actually encouraged me was I watched one of your videos on YouTube where you were encouraging a boy of, I don't know, 19, 20 years of age,
19.
right? And you were very
Sure.
proud of him. Yeah. So that really triggered me to, like, if a small boy can do this, then I can also do that. So I bought some stocks. So I've actually listed everything on Instagram, because on your YouTube you said we can send you some questions on your Instagram page. So I sent you some questions, but it seems you were not able to respond. So I just have
Yeah,
to
I was
come
on
here.
transit yesterday and most of the weekend, so never mind. I'll attend to Instagram messages soon.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Next caller is Imole. Someone is asking, sir, why is there no offer and bid on universal insurance? You might have missed the news that Universal Insurance is among the 3 insurance companies that were suspended from trading yesterday for failing to submit their annual report, their quarterly results. In any case, I think it's the annual report, yes, 2024 annual report or something like that. In any case, Universal Insurance has followed up with a press release, and that means their result could be ready and they could be the suspension could be lifted. For Universal Insurance, I am very hopeful that there will be a turnaround regarding that decision to suspend their stocks from trading. So for now, that was the suspension of the trading in full effect. Hello, coach. What's your take on the NGX 30? Is it advisable to double? If this was January, I would have said yes. But the index has returned about over 30% plus. For now, not very sure in this downward market trend. In any case, you could take advantage of the downward trend and buy at the bottom. Yes. Looks like we lost that Imole connection. So we will proceed with Crystal Audio. Afterwards, Chikie will come on. Good afternoon. Okay, still waiting for connection there. Coach, what do you think in average down? What do you think about averaging down on Owando? Yeah, I think this is a good time to average down on Owando. Owando touches the bottom at around 46, 47. Well, it's up to 49 now from 48 yesterday. So I think it's at the bottom where averaging down makes sense. How will I know my stock has increased? Alex the Great, go on to the portfolio valuation summary or keep a record of how much you bought per stock and what the current price is. And then you check against the current price and so on. That's how to do it. Coach, I enter QTix at 350. Would you advise I average up now or wait more days? Just wait more days. At 350, will you be averaging up now? Let's see. Oh, average down 317. Well, averaging down at 317, not bad. Okay, we lost that connection. Crystal Audio, please can you speak up? Oh, we lost him again. So we go on to Chiki Ezeokoye. Chiki Ezeokoye. CWG and Noko are good buys. Let's see. Are good buys now. That's coming from Hife. I think so. CWG under 16. So if you see 15 something, then it should be a good buy. 15.95 and below. You could also wait a bit. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Could it be you called by error? Chiki Ezeokoye. Right? She might have dialed in error. We proceed to the next caller. And the next caller is Amarillo. Yeah, the question was CWG and what again? Let's see. NACO. NACO 103. NACO just refuses to go below 100. That's a solid support being formed above 100 naira per share by NACO. Offers are still lower than bids, 1.9 million bids, 900,000 offers. So more than 1 million bids. I mean, yes, more bids than offers for NACO. So NACO stubbornly refuses to go below 100, which shows a good sign. Okay, user Chinyere Onoha says, good morning, coach. Thanks for all you do. I want to join your investors club. Feel free, Chinyere. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM requesting the link to join the club. I will forward to you. Every other person, just follow me on Instagram. Do the same, and I will send you the link. I hope that clears all of that requests to join Network Investors Club or to open your account as well. Top of the day to you, coach. I am very late to class today. Not a problem, Maobi. We know that you've been all over the place responding to the needs of others. I really appreciate that. I see the work you do even in the group, responding to every question per time. You are indeed an asset and a blessing to mankind. So, better late than never. Good day, coach. Please, what do you have to say about Guinea insurance? Well, I've spoken about Guinea earlier. You may want to watch the video later. Coach, please, is Champs a good stock for the long term, and is it a good time to buy now? Stephanie, member, yes, Champs, very good for the long term. Also a good time to buy. But now that the market is actually trying to dip, you may want to wait a while to see how low it goes. Otherwise, Champs, ultimately a fantastic buy. Right? Next caller, we couldn't connect with the last African Food Hub. Let's see if we can connect. We have just about 14 minutes before today's live stream is over. While we are waiting for that connection, Vivian Kudensi is asking, good morning, coach. What's the best price to enter UBA? Thank you, sir. I will check and revert immediately. UBA, 46 naira 60 kobo currently, down from 47.25. Bid and offer 5.5 million bids, only 13.4 million offers. So best price as far as today is concerned, 46.50. Good buy, 46.50. Remember, it closed 47.25 yesterday. It's now 46.65. There's a chance that you can buy at 46.50. All right, coach, what the effect of the commercial paper on Dangote Sugar? Won't it affect their stock price? Absolutely not. Away frank. Has nothing to do with stock price. This is Dangote Sugar trying to raise short-term capital to meet business demands, and they will surely pay back. The same was done also by Presco when they raised 100 billion naira to buy the assets they now own in Ghana. Never affected the stock price. This is to expand the business further. Ladies and gentlemen, the calls are no longer connecting, perhaps because of the challenge with the battery power of the device for TikTok transmission. So we will just bear with us for today. We've done a lot, just only 12 minutes before the live stream is over, and I can assure you that we have really covered a long mileage in managing the situation. So we are not missing anything at all as I proceed with more comments from Instagram. World Track Impact says, good on coach, is Jai's Bank a good buy now? Should I wait for it to drop more? I think you should wait for it to drop more. Looking good already at 460 or thereabouts. But just to buy lower. Hello coach, newbie here. Wondering if you have a playlist on YouTube or resources to help my journey so I understand the stock market, companies, profits, income growth for knowledge sake. I am Temi Roberts. Temi Roberts, send me a DM since you're already on Instagram. I'll send you the beginner's guide. But when it comes to resources about all of these details you listed, very hard to come by. Companies, profit, income growth, very difficult to come by. Anyway, I could send you a link to the NGX website where you can see all of these as they drop. And then for foreign stocks, I could also send you links to check out these reports. Machi Joy says, good day coach, please how can I move my portfolio from AfriInvest to Atlas because I want to open a minor account. Secondly, how can I get my dividends paid into my bank account? Thank you very much. First, Joy, your dividend goes straight into your bank account as long as you have a proactive stockbroker, because every time you buy a stock, it eventually they update the registrars of those companies so the records are kept. And when registrars pay out dividend, your name is already in the register. They allot you the dividends due you. As for moving your brokerage account from AfriInvest to Atlas, you will first open an account with Atlas itself or any new broker you want to use, and then you now instruct the new broker to move your stocks from your existing broker, and they will send you a transfer form, share transfer form, which you will complete, send back to them to begin the process. Okay. Coach, is it true that WAPIC will be delisted? Not to my knowledge. JD Food says, thanks for your advice and priceless support. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Good day, coach. Please, how do I transfer my stock from Trove to Atlas portfolio? Glorious Gladys. Now, I've heard Atlas also state that Trove, quite difficult to do that, but basically instruct Atlas by email to transfer your stocks, and then they will start the process by sending you a share transfer form. Good afternoon, coach. Okay, I've seen all of these repeated messages on Instagram. Coach, you are a godsend to me. 6 months ago, I joined you, but today I know what I have in my portfolio. I hope you can help me arrange my portfolio, please. Sidoff is asking. Well, if you want to do portfolio rebalancing, then you have to go for the 1 hour quick strategy session. That is a paid session. Not easy to do portfolio rebalancing for the whole world. You know, I've done a whole lot trying to help out in the littlest way I can. But I just realized along the line that people were almost investing randomly, and just like you see on Instagram, social media, all sorts of videos about I bought this stock so and so price is now this. The excitement is not in buying everything out there, 1,000 shares here and there. No, the real deal is focus. When you build capacity in one stock, and then whatever they pay out and every price movement begins to make more sense to you, that's when you are really in this stock business. You know, it's one thing to learn just generally from afar. It's another thing to be guided. And this is the guidance I bring, right? So if anybody who really wants to do portfolio rebalancing, then you will have to schedule a one-on-one 1-hour quick strategy session. And that's not free, though not overly expensive. If you can't afford it, it's not a problem at all. But I just need you to understand that over diversification is not the best way to go. Arnold is asking, what is stock rebalancing? When you feel like your portfolio, because that's something you have to do from time to time. The market is very dynamic. You might set out a 5-year goal and begin to invest, and suddenly one of the stocks that looked great in the first year starts fumbling in the 3rd year. You want to rebalance, sell off poor performing stocks, replace with very good ones, and of course, downsize the quantity if you have over diversified. Now, diversification depends on the capital you have. You can't use 100,000 and be buying 3 different stocks at one time. But I've seen people buy 5 different stocks, 10 different stocks with just 100,000. That's just waste of your time and resources, because they will not all perform at the same time. And so you'll just be seeing very scanty results. Even if a stock is doing 100%, you won't see much gains. You get the point. But if you have 100 million, you can diversify and buy up to 10 or 20 stocks. If you have 200 million, 500 million, you can buy up to 30 stocks. But it must not be too much. You can still focus. One stock alone can collect all of those monies, right? So you can still focus, but the diversification should be measured and strategic. That's what rebalancing does for you. Okay? Portfolio rebalancing. And everybody needs it. Sometimes you may look and say, okay, I am now 55. I don't need too much of my money in stocks or too much of my money in penny stocks. I want to rebalance such that I have a lot more growth stocks so that market crashes does not shock my portfolio too badly. That way, you now take up the rebalancing to reorganize yourself. Some people, you may want to now 60, 65 years old. You don't want to totally remain in stocks. You can now move some into the money market, especially bonds, treasury bills, and commercial papers. Not even mutual funds. I'm not talking about mutual funds now, but those are the most secure places to put money in as an old, an elderly, so you are sure that it's not much capital gains you are looking for. You have enough capital, but you want to preserve it and keep earning interest on your capital. So if you have 500 million, for instance, instead of risking it in stocks and going through pains, or in penny stocks, you look for very good stocks to buy. And of course, you can also proceed to doing what we call diversifying into the money market. If you invest in a bond that pays 20% per annum, 20% of 500 million isn't it 10 million? 10 million. 20% of 500 million. No? Is that not 100 million? Because 10% is 50 million, 20% is 100 million. So you can imagine, you can earn that every year and rest. Put it in a long-term bond, 15, 20-year bond, you have no problem, right? That's it. So your 500 million can assure you 100 million gain every year, which is more than enough to live off while enjoying the good life in your old age and not bother about market crashes in the stock market. Then, of course, your stock assets are still shooting and shooting and shooting. So the whole idea is, in your early years, invest in stocks. When you are getting older, begin to diversify some of your stocks into bonds. No one is going to teach you these details, but I'm here giving you for free, right? So that you never have anything to do with poverty ever again in your life. Okay? That's the way we make the money game work to our advantage. Very soon, bond rates will keep dropping. I've said it before, we can see it now. It's now around 18, 19%. It's going down to 16, 17%. Eventually, the bond market will no longer be attractive. But guess what? Whatever you have locked down in bonds will continue to yield you a whole lot of money. For instance, I am locked into a particular bond 25% per annum 2037. The year 2037 is when that bond will expire. So I will keep collecting every 6 months half of that 25%. So assume that I was now old enough and I was putting 500 million that time. That 25% will keep coming even though today's bond rate is now 16%. Why? It's called bond. They are bonded to giving me that until the tenure expires. And when the tenure elapses, my original 500 million invested will return to me untouched, unscratched. Whereas I would have earned 25% over 15 years. Interesting, isn't it? We are just in 2025. We are not yet in 2030. Yet I have a bond that is tenor to 2037. Standard, untouched, unhindered cash flow for me forever, if you like. That's the way we play the money game. I hope somebody is learning a lesson. So the wealth journey you are in is a marathon. You understand me now? That's why you shouldn't be worrying, oh, stock prices has dropped. What are you worrying for? Even if you are 50 years old today or 65 years old today, you still have about 40 extra years to live. Why worry about 2 months or 6 months of market fluctuation? Do you get the point now? I need you to understand this and win this race. I'm here. I'm with you forever, if you like. Okay? So we go all in. As you keep building, stock prices are dropping, you are buying. Stock prices are dropping, you are looking for the best companies that were runaway soldiers that time. You are buying. The USC and you couldn't buy at 100, you can now buy at 65. You are buying and buying and buying. Then when you accumulate to an extent and you begin to approach 50, 55, then you start moving some money into bonds, especially when the bond market is looking good. At that point, go ahead and sleep. Money machine all over the place. Dividends are coming, stock prices are increasing, bond coupons are dropping, and so on and so forth. And you live the good life. You become the best giver in your community, in your church, anywhere you are found, and in your family, and so on. That's how to do it. The mistake most people do and diasporans do, they send money from abroad to Nigeria to attend to the needs of others without first securing the bank. Invest, get the assets to produce what you want to start sending. I don't say don't give to your family, give to them, but don't forget you are not secured yet if you are only spending and not investing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we come to the end of today's live stream. It's already past 2 p.m. and it's been a wonderful start to the year, to the new month of September. Hopefully, we get better going forward tomorrow. Follow me on Instagram for all details. Go on the YouTube channel and watch. For those in Canada and U.S. and those who are at work even in Nigeria and could not follow this live stream, you will see the video uploaded before 6 p.m. Nigerian time today. Feel free to like, feel free to download, feel free to share when you go on YouTube. Until we meet again, this is me saying thank you very much for all you've done, all the moderators, Maobi, VOO, everybody who has been liking, sharing, and responding to comments here. You are the best. September is here again. Maybe it offers us that dip we need to take some of the best stocks again and get ready for the third quarter 2025 financial year. Until we meet again tomorrow, this is me saying thank you very much. I love you all.